Oh, God bless America. God bless America. I love you. My father,
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
So this is January 6th, and these are the hostages, approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
And all of the people that are on that order must be released by the end of the day by law.
Can't miss today.
Martin Luther King is looking down upon us with gratitude and encouragement. And we would say, let our people go! DC Gulag! Lord, you are the Lord of hosts. You are the God of gods. You are the one that upholds us with your mighty hand.
Well, if my kids were here, that would be my number one desire, of course. But they're not, so just breathing this fresh air and being with all you guys is good enough for me.
I did 3.5 years of hard time. It was an honor to do time in this regard. As it says in the Bible, if you're going to suffer, don't do it because you're a murderer or a thief. Do it because you're a Christian. And that's exactly what I think is happening here. It's in my blood as an airborne ranger not to leave anybody behind. So that's why I'm here. I got people back there, and I hope that soon they let my people go.
This is what happens when the American people come together and elect a great president. And now the exposure, that sunlight, is going to end down, raining down freedom on our protected people that are hostages, and they're going to come out heroes.
My son was assaulted by a lieutenant and 5 other guards last night. He was assaulted, punched. He was sitting in the middle of the quad, waiting to get processed and go out. Came in, they handcuffed him, they wrenched his wrists, put him behind him, they punched him, from what I understand. They threw him physically into his cell, and that's where he was for the rest of the night.
I did 45 months, 45, then it's about a year and a half of that at the DC Gulag in solitary confinement. So we stood up for what we believed in, and I do believe it was the right thing. And we lost so much. If you don't believe in God, after what you just witnessed this past couple of years, I don't know what to tell you, man, because, it's very clear whose side God's on.
Just 4 years and 4 days is nothing compared to the sacrifice Ashley Babbitt made, and Roseanne Boylan, and Kevin Greason, and Benjamin Phillips. They gave the full measure. They died on the steps of the Capitol for the things that we represent. Our stories would have been left into the back pages of history if it wasn't for this First Amendment right that we stood for at the Capitol. You guys gave us a voice when Fox News and CNN and MSNBC and the Post, Washington Post, and all these garbage outlets turned our back on us. You guys gave us a voice, and we appreciate you guys that have stood by our side so much.
It's not the end of, our duties here, but it's really the beginning. It's America's seen for 4 years just criminalizing patriots for standing for what's right.
This is actual, real, tangible freedom prayed for thousands of nights that we're seeing from an impossible situation, from a situation that looked dead. In despair, God created resurrection power. He created resurrection power, my brother and me right here. I love you guys so much.
Promises made, promises kept.
Daddy's home.
Please welcome to the show, Mr. Jake Lang. Jake! Hello, Jake.
Freedom! Freedom!
Oh my
Oh,
God.
it's so good to see you as the free man.
I am so happy for you. You know, whenever I saw President Trump sitting there at his desk and, you know, he was finally doing it because I was waiting all day to the point I had to even post some stuff to free the J sisters. I want them free. And when he did that, I'm telling you, my heart was filled with so much joy. I am so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. So let's go ahead on and get into this, okay? What was going on in the prisons? Okay, what was going on in the prison hours before President Donald J. Trump signed the executive order to pardon all of the J sisters? What was happening?
Well, we were seeing them start to scurry. The DC jail had no idea, honestly, that the entire world was about to descend upon them. The media, the U.S. Marshals were about to actually have to physically bust in there to get us loose. And so they were kind of scrambling and they were getting kind of aggressive with us. In fact, once President Trump signed the executive order, I had packed up all my stuff. I had a legal documentation saying you're a free man. And so I got all my stuff ready. Yeah, I had all my stuff ready, rock and roll. I'm expecting those doors to pop open. It was like 10 degrees out. And so my family was waiting outside. I'm like, let's get this show on the road. 4 years and 6 days. I've had enough. I don't want to spend another night in this disgusting, decrepit environment. And so they didn't like that. They actually responded with the ERT team. They came and threw me. They locked me back up. They threw me in handcuffs and they put me back in my cell. They picked me up and threw me in my cell. I'm like, guys, I said, this year for Christmas, Santa Claus is making a list and he's checking it twice. And all you guys that have abused us, your names are going to be put on a list of the Trump administration. And honestly, accountability and justice is what's coming your way. So, tread lightly, guys, because your reign of terror is over. The Patriots are back in power.
That's what you were saying to them, right?
Oh yeah, as they're taking me up, as they're handcuffed, bringing me back up the steps. I was telling them this. It's about it's about time that we have had a little bit of accountability and transparency for all the things that have happened to us the last 4 years.
Yes.
And President Trump is going to make sure. I know that there's a new commission that's going to be formed, and not only is the January 6th Select Committee and all the lies that happened, against our names and that sham of a congressional committee going to be rectified, but honestly, all of the BOP torture that we went through, the Bureau of Prisons, the U.S. Marshals, the Department of Corrections, everybody's going to be getting looked at. And if you're listening to my voice right now and you guys abused a January 6th inmate, get your bags packed too, because you're going to be leaving the jail this time in handcuffs.
Okay, so now comes the time that President Trump is signing the executive order. All right. So I'm assuming you were thrown in a room somewhere, so you didn't even get to see it go down, did you?
No, I didn't get to see that go down live on TV. I was waiting. I was on a live stream with General Flynn, and the U.S. Marshals actually came and took us out of the unit, and they put us in a holding area. And so we were sitting there for, hours and hours, just anticipating being able to leave the prison. But God's grace is so good. Those minutes and those hours, they passed like that. I mean, after doing 900 days solitary confinement, and having the prospect of leaving the jail in just a few hours, I was like, I've been this patient and I can wait a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer. So now I know that whenever you got out and your family was there, I know you kissed your beautiful fiance, but did you kiss the ground?
Once my feet were on the ground, I did not kiss the ground. I lifted my praise up to heavens, honestly, because it wasn't earth, and the political environment that we've seen actually save our lives. Now, there's my dad right there. See, I can actually, when we're doing an interview, I can see what's happening now. The political environment that was shaped and actually led to our freedom with Trump and the MAGA movement was something that, God had ordained and brought down from heaven in order to save us. It was truly like an act, a miracle from God. And so really, I kissed the sky. I kissed, the Lord above. I lifted my praises, and you see my Bible in my hand there. I mean, that's what got
Yes.
me through. I knew President Trump was being used as an instrument of the Lord. And, we're so proud of our president, who is so bold like a lion, to not care about, this political correctness and what all the liberal news media agencies and stuff would say about pardoning us. He saw a human endeavor against
Yes.
tyranny that we have gone through, and he saw and respected what we have stood up for, especially at the Capitol on January 6th. But the 4 years of being tortured and never capitulating, never breaking down, never compromising our integrity, he saw that on us, and he decided to reward us with the beautiful gift of freedom.
Oh, that's so amazing. Okay. After all of this, okay, you got out. All right. You're with your family. Where did you go? Where did you go when you left the grounds of prison? Where did you go?
Surf and turf. Oh man, I got a lobster tail, and then I literally, after I got surf and turf in DC, I literally, my dad, we hightailed it down to Key West, and I went deep sea fishing. Oh, we got some red snapper there, some mutton. We got a couple big, like
Yeah.
35-pound king mackerels, and you can see solitary confinement. I made best use of my time. I've been working out a lot.
Oh, yeah, you got a very nice physique. Okay. Yes, your fiance is a lucky gal.
That's that body by gulag.
Well, I'm glad you didn't waste your time, while you was in there. Now, are the left-wing media, anybody from the left-wing media, the right-wing media, or corporate media, are they now calling you for an interview? Are they're trying to get in contact with you for you to come on to their network for an interview?
Yeah, we've had people reach out. TMZ was reaching out, The Guardian, CNN, Washington Post and stuff. But I decided that, I wanted to show loyalty to the people who are loyal to us. And, those platforms, they've done nothing for us but disparage our names and really make it very tough for families. They've doxed families, lied about us. So really, I just stuck to the tried and true people here at Lindell TV, Real America's Voice, Gateway Pundit. That's my family. And honestly, you guys should be rewarded. Like I said in that clip that we played, without the independent media, the conservative, real deal grassroots podcasters,
Yeah.
it would have been like January 6th would have been totally forgotten. But you gave me a voice while I was in the prison cell, Silk, and I'll never forget that. And, may God bless you and everybody that has stood up for us so bravely, the people outside the prison, holding vigil, the people who write us letters, those family members who have never stopped praying, our prayer warriors, my mom, my dad, Rachel, these beautiful people that, one of the things I say is that my back was against the wall. And I had to fight, I had to just like persevere and push through. But it was people that did not have to do that I believe deserve the bigger respect and glory, because you guys decided to join a battle, right, that you did not have to fight. But I had to fight. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, we're
Yeah.
free now because of Donald Trump. He's very politically, he's got a great acumen. And he decided that the American people were ready to hear, free the Jan Sixers. He started just late in 2023, early 2024, this whole last year, that he was going to start the messaging that these guys are hostages. We need to free them. But the first 3 years we were incarcerated, it wasn't the time for that. And we created together as the conservative grassroots people an environment that President Trump could then jump in and not commit political suicide by, saying, imagine, 2 weeks after January 6th, if he would have started saying, pardon the Jan Sixers, people would have freaked out. But we started to unearth the truth that January
Right.
6th was a setup, that the Capitol Police had assaulted us first. And once we did that as a community, then he could then jump in and support us. So it was great. It was a team effort. President Trump threw the winning touchdown, and we drove the ball up the
Yeah.
field for nobody wants to think about the guys in the huddle that were driving the ball 1 or 2 yards at a time all the way up that field, like you, Silk, and your team helping us get to that end zone. And then Donald Trump threw the touchdown pass, and we're all going to share in this victory for a long time to come. It's really a moment in American history where I think future generations will just say God's hand was truly in the midst of this battle.
Yes.
Without his love, without his mercy, we would have been deteriorated. You know, my brothers Enrique Tario, Joe Biggs, and Stuart Rhodes, and people that got like 20-year long sentences, we would have never seen them again. They wouldn't have seen the light of day ever again.
Right. Yeah. Especially if Kamala would have gotten in, if they would have stowed her in. And then not to mention the videos with all of the little video snippets being able to come out so that people can actually see who shot the first shot, who threw the first punch. You see what I'm saying? When people was able to actually able to see that under video snippets, who opened the door from the inside, you know, what happened to Roseanne Boyland and so forth. We was able to see that. But unfortunately, our government and the Biden regime, even some in the Republican Party, like Mike Johnson, they tried to keep those particular snippets and videos out of the public eye because it did not fit their narrative. Okay, so I'm grateful for the little snippets. I'm grateful even for God blessing my sister and I with this platform. And even social media, so that we can put those snippets out there and ask the question, who opened the door from the inside? Because Adam Kinzinger wanted to come back at my sister and I when we put that out there, and he was saying something about the guy on the second floor did A, B, C, or D. So I wanted to know how he know it was a second floor when a second floor wasn't showing in the video. How he know a guy was up on the second floor? Oh yeah. So we had our battle out here. Okay, we had our battle out here while you all was having your battle in there, and now you out here, we all can get out here and battle. Oh yeah, we cuss him right on out. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Okay, are you still labeled as a domestic terrorist or a white supremacist right now?
I'm not too sure about my designation on like the airlines and stuff. I know that I tried to open up an Instagram account yesterday and I was immediately blocked. So they still have
Okay.
some type of facial recognition scanning going on that they're doing against Jan Sixers. I've opened up three Instagram accounts while I've been a prisoner, and they all keep getting blocked. So there is some like Airbnb. I heard actually E-Trade was shutting down many Jan Sixers accounts. So there is still some type of technological tyranny that's happening to my brothers. As far as holding them back from being able to get like Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. Actually, right now, WhatsApp too. If I sign up for WhatsApp using like a phone number that's tied to my social security, it immediately gets blocked. And so there is, if it wasn't for Elon Musk and X and Lindell TV and Bless News and Real America's Voice and places like this, it's like they want to just see us completely silenced and muzzled. And that's what they tried to do to me in jail. You know that, how many times I got tossed in solitary confinement, over 900 days I did in solitary for speaking out against the injustice of the Jan Sixers, speaking out against the lies of the J6 Select Committee. They tried to destroy us, but our Lord parted a Red Sea when that army of the Pharaoh was behind us. It was such a beautiful deliverance. Oh man, I seen real life miracles. I'm a twice resurrected man. I was saved from a life dead in sin, in the spirit already 4 or 5 years ago when I came to Christ, and then again he resurrected me out of a tomb in the DC jail. So I know that I can testify to the Lord. I can testify that his name is powerful, and if you call on his name in your struggles, you watch what he can do. He's going to take just a small time prisoner, a young man from upstate New York, and elevate him to the national stage and deliver him out of prison and do all the things he's done in my life. He's got those favors still in store for you too. Just call on that name, Jesus. He'll show you his goodness.
That's right. Now I understand that the DOJ dropped your January 6th case after 4 years and 4 days, which is 1,464 days of being held hostage and basically falsely imprisoned without a trial. Okay, so since they dropped that, did they still issue you a pardon even though the DOJ dropped the case?
I haven't had a pardon certificate. I'll ask my lawyer about that, but honestly, my case was dropped. I never had a trial whatsoever. So I don't think I qualify for a pardon. In fact, my lawsuit is going to be so serious because literally you hold somebody for 4 years and 6 days actually before the time I got out because they held me a couple extra days. Um, and then you don't give them a trial. It's like they're setting themselves up for some huge lawsuits. And actually,
Mhm.
that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today on here.
Yep.
We are filing the January 6th restitution and wrongful incarceration lawsuit, $50 billion. I remember I mentioned it last
Yes,
time I was on here,
I
but
got
I
it here.
just got
Yes.
off the phone. I got off the phone today with three lawyers that you know very well. Everyone knows them very well. They're Trump advisors. They are going to be on our team helping file this thing. They're household names. And so, guys, there's still some time to join in. If you're a Jan 6 or watching this, please go to j6restitution.com and you can sign up for free. There will be no cost for you guys ever in this lawsuit. And, hopefully we get a resolution worked out immediately where we can get payments out to these families that have been devastated. But in the meantime, before that, yeah, that's a federal watchdog organization that's going to be spearheading this. A great, great organization that has risen out of the ashes of January 6th. But if you are looking to help the Jan Sixers afford, this legal representation because it is costly, and you want to help them get back up on their feet, I saw at the end of Professor Clement's video there that we just played at the beginning, he had my website
Mhm.
up, j6rebuild.com. J6 Rebuild's effort that we've spearheaded together as a community to ensure that all these guys coming out of prison, literally, within the last 8 days, some of them don't
Yes.
have rent money. Some of them don't have heating money to keep their houses
Nothing.
warm. Some of them don't even have homes to go to right now. So we're putting them up in like extended stay motels. So please, guys, go to j6rebuild.com and help a Jan Sixer get some groceries, a new pair of sneakers, a cell phone. Just help them get back up on their feet. These guys
Yeah.
suffered so much, and for them to feel like financially like destitute or insecure right now is it's a travesty that we need to try to come around them. So j6rebuild.com is the place to go.
j6rebuild.com is the place to go to help these people out, because even though they're free, guess what? They got to now rebuild. That's what they have to do. They have to rebuild their lives. It's what they have to do. Now, I have another question for you, Jake. I know it's longer than usual because by now we'll be hearing that you have 1 minute left. Okay. But so here's my question now. While being held hostage, you created a platform called Blessed News Network. Okay. My question is, how were you able to build this network in solitary confinement?
Right here, the Bible tells us that the Lord opens up doors that no man can open. And so he put around, me, a team of volunteers and patriots and Christians and awesome people that I just leaned upon. And, you could do a lot with your hand to the phone and just say, hey guys, go here, buy this, open that, buy this domain. And so, for 4 years, I had nothing to do but just to be sharply focused. And so God gave me a spirit of entrepreneurialism. And, I follow after the footsteps of the great Mike Lindell. And, he's a close mentor and friend of mine. And, we've just been able to orchestrate great things. We had over 200,000 people live on the stream watching the liberation of the Jan Sixers. And so, that's such a blessing. We're doing great things. And you've been working with us for a little while, and we're going to continue to pursue, working with great patriots and doing, original content and shows. And your stuff is still up there, and we keep on putting up your stuff every single day.
Wow.
This is the media, when they try to shut us down, when they literally took my voice from me. I mean, this stems out of a deep need as a human being, as a man, to have my voice heard. When they tried to literally put me in a cage and put a muzzle on my mouth, I said, you know what, I'm going to not just speak out on every possible interview and podcast possible, but then I'm going to create a platform where real patriots can platform Jan Sixers. So we have the Inside J6 show, we have Faith and Fire, we have God Bless America, we have Ann Vandersteel show, and we're doing so. We have Jeff Cruer. And so all these guys, every single week, they have Jan Sixers on their shows. And so I was like, I'm going to double down. When you try to kill me, we're going to rise up like an eagle who flies against the wind and uses the wind to propel us further. Amen. So it was just a
Woohoo!
blessing from
Yes.
God. We orchestrated it. Yeah,
And,
we're
and
Eagles here. That's why the Eagles,
come on, baby. That's
the American
wow. I
bird.
love it, darling. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, here we go. Here's another question. Okay. Many people outside and inside of the conservative circle have implied that the FBI may have reached out to you to ask you to become an informant. Is this true? A true
That's
accusation?
that's insanity. They don't treat, first of all, they never reached out to me. And second of all, I never had the opportunity. The second I got picked up by the FBI on January 16th, 2021, I started immediately to verbally berate the officers that were perpetrating an act of terrorism and being traitors on our country. And so by the time they got me to the processing facility, normally what's standard practice is they sit down and they ask you like, certain questions. But they knew my disposition and they looked at each other and said, this young man's not going to answer a single question. That's not even waste our time because it's like a 2 hour long, like rigmarole that they
Yeah.
normally do. And so I wasn't even questioned when I got picked up because I said, our founding fathers are rolling in their graves. How could you? We're patriots. We stood up for the Constitution of this country. This is sickening. Look at you treating me like an animal, like I'm Al Qaeda. And so by the time they got me to processing, they knew exactly where I stood. And then, my
Yeah.
actions have spoken louder than any words could possibly could. I have been a proponent of freedom and, even starting a militia, a Second Amendment organization from my prison cell.
Yeah.
I mean, these are actions of a 1776 patriot and not of some type of, and by the way, nobody who's working with the FBI or some type of asset or something gets their bond denied 3 times and denied habeas corpus and put in solitary confinement for 900 days. So
900
just use
days.
your common sense, Americans. The
Yeah.
people like Ray Epps, they never see the inside of a prison cell. The people that are working with the feds, they don't get treated like animals and dragged through, inhuman solitary confinement and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've heard that too, just because people are actually so, and God humble me, so amazed with what we're able to produce from inside the prison cells. The documentaries, the podcasts, the networks, the businesses that they
Yes.
start to question, like Jake must have something, this, that. It's like no,
The
when I get
interviews. You're
a
able to
cell
do all
phone,
of these different interviews. Yeah. Yeah. They were like,
yeah,
how do he
they
get a cell
question it
phone?
naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the cell phone thing,
Um,
so that's a rare occurrence inside a prison cell, and only in Brooklyn, MDC, which is an extremely corrupt prison, where the guards, they were bringing in knives, drugs, cell phones, and stuff. And so, as a man who's at war, we're in an information war. When it's presented to me to be able to get something as valuable as a cell phone, I'm going to go out and purchase it because we're able to use that to liberate us and spread the
you
truth and
say,
raise money and stuff. So, those were all, gotten through illicit measures. I never had a friend or, an FBI agent or a guard come and hand that to me. I mean, this is like an extensive network. Sometimes they're flown in through drones, and sometimes like people throw like ropes of like their bed sheets all rolled up
wow.
outside the windows and bring them in. I mean, prisoners are very crafty. So I was able to get my hands
Yeah.
on them a couple times. But really, out of the 4 years I did incarcerated, I probably had a month in a cell phone in my hands, maybe 2 months the entire time. So everything else
Right.
was done through the prison phone and through the tablets that they provide, and that's enough
Mm-hmm.
sometimes to win.
You are getting so much love in the chats. People are loving you. They are saying congratulations. Thank God that you are
Eh,
free. Yes, they are so excited. And see, 900 days, when I think of 900 days in solitary confinement, and after what you just spoke and said, they threw you in there because you're powerful. You are an influencer, okay? And they wanted to silence you. That's all. They wanted to silence you because you're so powerful. And so here's my next question.
Thank you.
Have you witnessed or seen any incidents of pardoned J Sitzers being targeted?
Like since we've left, I mean,
Yep.
not targeted by the police yet, but yeah, we had one man, Thune, I believe is his last name, God forbid, that was pulled over in a traffic stop, and I don't know how the
Tuttle.
situation escalated, but You've seen, many times on YouTube, I've seen the videos everybody has where, it's like the cops screaming, like, get your hands up on the steering wheel, and some type of argument
Uh-huh.
ensues, and, somebody ends up getting shot. And so I believe that that's how that situation transpired. My team at Federal Watchdog still investigating this. We're asking everybody in the community, their family, local sheriffs, and everybody to try to get more information, because we can't have this type of aggression against Jan Sixers. We were just pardoned, and for us to be targeted, and one of us to be killed just days after is scary. It's scaring my family very bad, because they know how much activism I do and how much I'm out there. And
Yes.
somebody just like wrote like a horrible note and put it on my dad's truck just a couple days ago,
Are
and
you serious?
saying some cursing me out and stuff. Yeah, because my dad has this huge sign on the side of his truck with me with the gas mask on January 6th, like yelling like, yeah. And it says on the top of it, my son's a Jan Sixer, and on the bottom it says, and I'm damn proud of him. And so he's been
Wow.
driving that, and it's a huge, like 2-foot magnet. And he's been
Yes.
driving with that around, and he's had people take it off his truck and throw it into the woods and throw feces on his truck. So, there's that petty stuff. But, God forbid, the deep state, I've been saying this a lot, when they get their talons, and when you're in the gulag and they get wrapped into you, and their feet, dragged into you there, they don't want to let you go. And so some of my
Right.
friends, like for example, Stuart Rhodes, the founder of the Oath Keepers, he's on, he was only commuted, and he's on parole right now. And so he's worried about, them sending some type of Fed plant or acid at him, saying, oh, this man had a weapon when he wasn't supposed to. And
Yeah.
then boom, they lock him right back up. And so, these are things that happen. These things happen all the time. So we're working on securing him a full pardon right now, and all the other guys that only got commuted, because, once these people have you on probation and parole, they'll always find a way to violate you, always find a way to take away
Yep.
more of your civil rights. And, so we're fighting for them hard. It's good to be free. I'm connected to all my brothers. We have these huge group chats starting. We're like FaceTiming each other, and living back some of the memories, the good, bad, and ugly. You know what I mean? Sometimes where we're crying on each other's shoulders. Sometimes where we're doing goofball stuff. Hanging out and killing time together and stuff. But to see everybody home in this miraculous way, and see them like their moms and families and wives hugging them and kissing them and stuff, it makes my heart so
It's
full.
amazing,
And
isn't it?
I know that we didn't suffer in vain. And, God's going to continue to use us in some amazing ways. And actually,
Yes.
one thing I'm going to announce here, I've been talking about it in vague ways, but I am running for national political candidacy here in Florida. And we will be announcing the exact place where I'm running and everything. The campaign is like dynamite. I've got some amazing people linked in with us. And so you guys are going to see not just me, but many Gen Sixers who have been wronged by this system want to go
Yes.
out and to change the system and
Change the
influence the
system.
system and serve the people, because who is going to fight better for you than people like the Jan Sixers, who have
That's
seen
right.
what the end goal is of losing your liberty, of the encroachment of a bloated federal government, usurping power over the states, usurping power over our daily lives. I think the Jan Sixers are going to be a fighting force for good that the world hasn't seen in a long time. And there's thousands of us, and we're coming for local office, school board positions, all the sheriffs. I can't wait to see Jan 6 sheriffs and school board parents and town councilmen and congressmen and senators. I mean,
Yes.
it's coming. And we've been prepared by God. I mean, He has shaped us in the midst of adversity, is when the strongest
Mm.
character in a man is made.
Incredible. Make sure you tell your daddy that I said hello. At Mar-a-Lago, will you
Yes,
be
I
going
will.
to Mar-a-Lago?
We will be there very soon. I've been talking with the advisors and people. We're trying to plan out some type of welcome home event. So I'll give you guys more detail on that when I know. But on July 4th, I can tell you guaranteed, my dad in his new restaurant called Mosey's Roadhouse in Beach Lake, Pennsylvania. It's like seats like 200-300 people. There's going to be a huge 4th of July party. We have like a big like camp out area, and so you guys are invited. Of course, Silk, all your people, all your producers, Edward behind the scenes, everyone, Lindell TV. I'll invite Mike. I'll call him tomorrow. We're gonna have a big we're gonna get like 3 or 4 pig roasts going on, and so
Oh
come
Lord.
enjoy Independence Day. Oh yeah, it's gonna be big. Fireworks. My dad does like $10,000 in fireworks. He's a maniac every year for the whole town. And so it's going to be a blessing. So everyone's invited to Mosey's Roadhouse on July 4th. Just show up. You don't need an invitation. Just show up. It's a family affair. It's a family affair.
Yes. Is your fiance? Is she happen to be around close by? Your fiance?
She's not here right now. She's in Philly.
Okay.
I went on a fishing trip with Dad. It's just me and Dad. We needed some personal time to reconnect. He's
All
been
right.
so amazing for me. I'll be back up with her very soon. But wow, what
Okay.
fighters we got around us. The Gen 6
Yeah.
community is really a community that has so many fighters in it. It's incredible to see like your average, and it's not like, we get these people online, you see these people in Hollywood movies and stuff, all polished up and stuff. But the Gen 6 community is full of these like underdog fighters, and it's been such an honor in my lifetime to stand shoulder to shoulder with these people. I can't speak highly enough what we were able to accomplish, what this community's gone through. It's the stuff the miracles are made of, and the stuff the champions are going to be formed out of. I said this outside the prison. I said, the next Elon Musks are going to be here. The next billionaires, the next leaders are all standing shoulder to shoulder with me, and they're coming out of that prison cell tonight, and so
Yeah.
I can't wait to see us all united, moving together. It's going to be beautiful. God is going to rain down his glory on this nation through our suffering. There's going to be ultimate
Yeah.
good. He promises that. He says all things work for the good of those who are called according to God's purpose and who love him. And so,
Yeah.
I believed in that. That was something that got me through those cold hard nights. I say, God's got a plan. And if I lean not on my own understanding, but trust in the Lord
Come on.
and allow him to guide my footsteps and acknowledge all of his ways, that he's going to use this ultimately for the good of our country. And so we've seen, so it's such a dark backdrop, right? The brightest stars in
Yeah.
the sky shine bright because there's a dark backdrop. And so the dark backdrop that America now has is, we've seen what happens when the federal government is given unlimited power, when these bureaucrats become weaponized and they start to just trample all over our rights. We've seen it. They'll come and they'll kidnap you from your homes. They'll throw you in the gulags in the dungeon. But now we've got such bright stars emerging from this thing. And so we've seen the worst that America can provide. God forbid what happens when brave men and women stop fighting every single day. And so now is the time where
Yeah.
it's like our calling is be defensive on a daily basis. Make sure all the local government you can be in, get conservative, get patriots in there, run yourself. Do not wait for somebody else to be called. When the Lord calls you, say, choose me, God, I'm ready to serve.
That's right. Now I see that you got you some sun. You got
Oh,
some
I got
sun.
way
You
too
don't
much
look
sun.
well. You got plenty of
I
sun.
got way
So,
too much sun.
so my
Look at
question,
this.
my
Look at
next
this.
question.
I'm like,
Oh my God. Okay, all right. You got you all right. So because at one time you was really like pale, but now you got you some sun. So my next question, and I'm almost finished with you, baby. My next question is, how did it feel to finally sleep in a bed? And did you have my pillow? Did you have any my pillow sheets and bedding?
Yes. Yes, I did. So, my tradition for every single Christmas, God forbid it was 4 Christmases that I missed, I would go on Mike Lindell's website on mypillow.com, and I would find something to buy all my family members. The first year I got them all my slippers. The next year I got them all my robes. Then I got everybody my
Wow.
pillows. And so I ordered myself an extra one of each, so that when I came home, I was living it up large. I had the robe, I had my pillow, I had my slippers. And so,
Yeah.
we try to make sure that we support patriots who supported us. And, we're very, Mike actually wrote a letter to President Trump. I haven't even released it. It was a private thing that we did. He wrote a letter on my behalf to President Trump to help secure my pardon and say, Jake's a good friend and he's a young man that I respect, and I really want you to take a second
Mhm.
look at his case and stuff. And so Mike went out of his way to advocate for me, to write a letter and to get it in the president's hands, as a few other great patriots did. Some of my great friends like Wayne Allen Root and stuff, and I'll
Yeah,
never forget that. I'll never
never
forget that.
forget
When
it.
I'm a big shot, I'll never forget that.
All right now, all right. Don't you forget us little folks down here now. Uh, but when you go to My Pillow, you can use promo code Diamond or promo code Trump1. Okay, this is the last question to you. If President Donald J. Trump was right here, right now, what would you say to him?
Well, it would be hard to put it into words, so I'd probably latch onto him and give him the biggest hug ever, and it would be hard. The Secret Service would have to pry me off of him.
Oh,
I would tell the president, I would tell the president, I'd say, sir, God has used you in a mighty way, in a historic way, that you've been called for great purposes, and your journey for the next 4 years. I think that you have the right team around you now to create policies and changes in America that are going to echo into the future hundreds of years. What you've done for me
yeah,
and my family has been unspeakable blessing. You're like a mighty lion roaring, and all of the deep state is scattering around you. And so keep on roaring, be bold and courageous. You've done a thing that no other man, I don't think, in America could have done. Even J.D. Vance, your own vice president, had his own quiverings about January 6th, but you followed your own heart. God moved your heart to do something. And so that same instinctual thing that you've done for the January Sixers to free us and to make America great, I want you to continue to follow your heart, Mr. President. Don't let anyone dissuade you from what you know to be right and true. Let God be your guide, and you will do
yes.
amazing things. And this is just the beginning. This next 4
Come
years are going
on,
to be a
baby.
roller coaster. Keep going, keep going, keep
That's right.
going. Don't stop.
That's
Thank you.
incredible.
I just want to
Jake,
say thank you.
I am so happy. I've been singing Oh Happy Day. You know that
Yes,
song?
amen.
Oh Happy
Amen, of course.
Day. Yes, I've been singing it and singing it for you all because I am so happy that this day is here for you all. It's been a long battle, but like I've been saying, I've never seen a storm that did not end. I've never seen a storm that did not end. And guess what? That storm finally end, and we're here. Okay, we are here. So I'm so
Amen.
proud of you and happy for you. And you know what? I'll have you on some more because I know we're gonna have to give updates because we got to sue these bastards. We got to sue these people, and gonna have to be compensated. Okay, you're gonna have
Of
to be
course, of
compensated,
course.
especially being falsely in prison for 4 years and all of those days and so forth. Something's gonna have to give. Okay. So 4 years and 6 days, something's gonna have to give. So we'll have you back on. We're gonna continue to keep you and your fiance and your family in our prayers. Okay. And I just want to say I
Thank you.
love you and God bless you.
I love you too so
Wonderful.
much, Silk. This community owes you a great debt of gratitude. And so we'll be working the rest of our lives to honor you and all the people that stood by us and all the American people that voted for President Trump. Look at what you guys have done. That feeling that you went
Yes.
into the voting booth to secure freedom for all of us. You seen it when I hugged my father. That was the
Yes.
feeling that you voted for. And so we thank you so deeply. Keep out there and keep voting. Look what votes can do. We never even thought that, right? Blessing. God bless you guys. Please go to j6rebuild.com. And when we launch our candidacy, it's going to make liberal heads roll. So please support our
Yes.
new candidacy for political office here in Florida. It's going to be amazing.
God bless you. All right, Jake. All right, everybody. Jake Lane. God bless.